Okay, I think you can hear me now. Sorry, I'm recording on a new device here, so apologize for that. Welcome everybody. This is welcome to Kingdom Encounters, our fellowship group. Um I'm just adjusting this little camera I have to see the painting a little bit more. The painting is called Communion, by the way. And since we're in the season of Passover and Resurrection Sunday coming up, tomorrow will be Palm Sunday. Today is April 9th, 2022. I'm Andrea Z. My husband Alex will be joining us a minute. Tomorrow is Palm Sunday. So at the beginning of our fellowship, I'm starting to record just in the beginning, and then I'll stop the recording, and then we won't be recording the rest of the meeting. But the first part of the meeting, I'm recording because Father wants me to release words, so here we go. So I'm just gonna get into this week. Father wanted me to recap so the prophetic seasons that he gave me for last year, 2021. He gave those seasons to me in 2020, at the end of 2020, December 5th, 2020. And I want to be clear that these encounters these seasons that I'm going to talk about, they're all encounters of heavenly encounters, we'll just say. And the Lord took me up. I was caught up. This was the very first time this had never happened to me before. But and I'll tell more about that story. Well, I guess I can tell it here. So on December 5th, 2020, I know 2020 was a very hard year for a lot of people. And I'm not going to worry so much about the time on this. I know I try to keep my videos short, but we'll see if I hopefully I can get this done within 10-15 minutes. We'll see. No promises. But I got to just get through this recap of the prophetic seasons that we're in. So going back to my story, so in 2020, December 5th, the Lord, I saw an angel. I am a seer, and I don't think I've ever quite explained too much about myself. I've just been giving the words because they've just been coming so quickly. But now I guess the Lord is giving me the green light to kind of explain a little bit more. So I am a seer. My gift has been kind of it was very, very dormant, you might say, for a very long time. I came to know the Lord 30 years ago, and I discovered then that I had a gift, but I didn't really know what to do with it. I didn't really have a lot of people around me to mentor me and that sort of thing. So, but fast forward, and then I don't want to bore you with all those details, but at some point I'll talk more about how I got activated, and because that's a story too. everything's a story, right? We all have our journey, we all have our stories, and I want to hear your stories. It's not about me. I the Lord wants me to say these things to encourage you, because I know you guys are out there and you've got things to share and stories to tell, and I want to hear them. And so I definitely want to hear from you too. So my journey kind of, there was a couple of kick starts, and they all sort of happened recently within the last 5 years. Um, but there was a significant point, December 5th, 2020, when I was visited by an angel. It wasn't the first time I had seen an angel, um, but it was significant that this angel brought me a scroll, um, and it also wasn't the first time I had seen a scroll, but recently I had seen scrolls and angels with scrolls, maybe a couple of months or within that year, 2020, kind of for the first time. So a lot was happening in 2020 for me. Like I said, I know it was a hard year for a lot of people, but for me, spiritually, it was really significant and very pivoting and very activating for me. The Lord just used that year to really activate me spiritually and my gifts. So I was visited by an angel. He had a scroll. It was a smaller angel. He was hovering smaller. I've seen really big ones. I've seen all kinds of sizes. This was a smaller one. And brought me a scroll, and it was an invitation. I read it. I saw it. I unrolled it. It was an invitation to meet with the counsel of the Lord. It literally said invitation to meet with the counsel of the Lord. And then there was some more verbiage, which I don't remember all of that verbiage, but at the bottom it had me sign. There was a place for me to sign, and so the angel handed me a plume, like I have this fun thing, but it was like a white plume feather, and I signed my name, um, spiritually, and I physically made the motion to sign, and then the Lord took me to heaven for the first time. It was incredible, and I'd like to save some of that detail for later. I want to get to the message of like who I met, because I met some people and they had messages, and those messages became the seasons that we are now experiencing. So, and we experienced last year, and we're continuing to experience this year in 2022. So, the Lord brought me up. Basically, real quick, on a quick note, I saw us rising upon like a, it was literally like a rainbow bridge. I know that sounds so corny, but literally it was like a crystal. Um, it seemed like to be like a crystal sort of, almost like an escalator, and rainbows running through it, all over, moving, not just stagnant. So it was as if we were riding on light, and within that light I saw the rainbows moving through, in and out, and so it, for lack of a better word, it's pretty much like a rainbow escalator or bridge, if you will. So that was my experience going up, ascending to heaven. And then so when we got there, the Lord introduced me to 5 people. At first they were very fuzzy in the distance. It was like a big white mist with figures that I could see. They were sort of all lined up. Um, and the Father was with me, and he just introduced me to each of the five. Um, and each of the five, okay, were the first one was Moses, okay. The second one was Elijah. The third one was Zechariah. No, sorry, King David. Next was Zechariah, and then Paul, the Apostle Paul. So I met those five. But again, it was they were kind of distant, maybe 30 feet away, and it was sort of just like a hello kind of a thing and an introduction. That was the first time. And then a few weeks later, and then the Lord brought me down, and then a few weeks later, the Lord called me up again. So I sat in my prayer chair and I just worshiped the Lord, and then pretty soon I just felt my body going up, you know. It's like I felt my spirit going up. So the second time, I met them again, all five, and they each had a message. And so that's what I'm here to kind of share with you, which I've shared already in several videos from last year. But the Lord wants me to do a quick sort of nutshell recap of each season. And then we're gonna, in our fellowship group, we're gonna talk about them, and then over the next 5 weeks, because there's five seasons. Well, next weekend is Passover, so we won't do it then, but we'll start the following week after that, and we'll go over in a little more detail each of the five, and each of the five prophetic seasons, which are pertaining to the five of the council that I met, people that I met, and then also the updates, because all of them have already been fulfilled, but there's still more happening with each of those prophetic seasons. So the first one, Moses, he said to me, okay, and so each one handed me something as well. It's like they imparted something. They handed me something, and I'll tell you what it is. And they had a message. So Moses, when I met him, now this time they were closer to me, you know, like a few feet away, right? And I could see more detail in their faces and things like that. So Moses said, I'm giving you five keys to heaven. And he handed me, he said, I'm giving you keys to heavenly strategies. And he handed me a key, one key, put in my hand. It was like a beautiful gold, looks like one of those old ancient keys, you know. I need to do a drawing of it. I haven't done that yet. But it, you know, you probably, whatever you're picturing in your mind, one of those old keys, it's probably what it looked like. Very simple, you know, but ornate at the top, you know, where you turn it, and kind of big, you know, golden. And he said, you will be unlocking keys to heavenly strategies. Now, and every time, like, I hear this, I know the message is also for the people, so it's not just about me, it's about everyone, you know, out there. That, you know, it's like the Lord is pouring something out on the earth, you know. So, he also said, there will be a season of things, miracles like what you saw in my day, like what you read about in my time, like the parting of the Red Sea was one that he mentioned, and we'll see victories in the Lord, like the way I saw. And so parting of the Red Sea, he mentioned also, like, um, in the time of Passover, um, other, you know, just other miraculous type of things. But we'll get into those details in the next couple weeks. So, so we've got his message of um, miracles and things like in his day, and like the party in the Red Sea, and the keys to heavenly strategies. So there were two main messages there. Then next I met Elisha, the prophet Elisha, and he had me. He said, "You will see victories in the Lord." Um, and he like the way I saw on Mount Carmel, and you will see God show up uh, in a very sort of public way, like the way he did when I challenged the prophets of Baal um, on Mount Carmel. And he handed me a rock. He said, "This rock is from Mount Carmel, and just keep it as a reminder that God showed up, that God brings the victory." And the rock looked like a normal kind of gray rock, but it was burnt black on one side. Just, I believe because he said, this is part of what, when the Lord became fire and sucked up and consumed the sacrificial altar that Elijah had made for God, and God came with fire and accepted the sacrifice. And it was to show the prophets of Baal, who couldn't seem to conjure up their fake god, right? Their deceptive god of Baal. Yeah. Even Elisha, if we remember, poured water on the altar just to make a point. But God came in fire. He came and showed everybody who he was. So that was Elisha. Then then I met with King David. And King David, wonderful, I mean, just gentle, just happy, just spirit, was just a wonderful kind of encounter. They all were wonderful. I don't mean to say the others weren't. But something special about King David, he imparted something to me too. He gave me a lyre, an instrument, musical instrument. And he said, you will be anointed in song and musical like instruments, and writing songs, basically, like for the Lord, so, and I knew that I also had a mantle of praise already, so him saying that just kind of confirmed to me, and also just I felt like it just increased more so. And I do have songs to share with you guys. We will be doing that in each of those weeks. I'll have a song for you coming up. So I hope to see you guys, so I can share that with you all. If not, of course, you can check the videos later. Okay, and so King David mentioned how music, rather worship to the Lord, is like the best form of warfare. When we go to battle with the Lord. There's like a new sound that's coming to the earth. That was 2020 going into 2021, and this new sound was just like breaking through strongholds and enemy lines and breaking down enemy communications and things like that, you know. So music is very key in battle, in spiritual battle, and in spiritual warfare. So that was his message. There would be a new sound. Remember that it is a form of worship, is a form of battle, spiritual warfare, very key in spiritual warfare, and imparted me the anointing to play musical instruments. So that was very special for me personally, on a personal level. Then I met Zechariah, and also very special, he handed me a prayer mat. It looked to me like one of those Arabian magic carpets, you know what they look like. I mean, that's just kind of the image. Of course, we don't believe in magic, but it's just that concept, that it would look like a Persian rug, That's what I was trying to say, like a Persian rug with the fringe, the gold fringe on the sides, and the really ornate decorative rug, and just enough for you to sit and pray on, like a mat, like a anyway, yeah, you get the idea. So he said that there's going to be a new season of miracles, signs, and wonders, but the glory of the Lord is going to be poured out. There's a return of prodigals coming, like a return to the Lord, and there's just like this intercession that's going to be intense, just all around the world. It's just going to be a huge increase of intercession. So this prayer mat was very apropos, for that season. So okay, and then I saw the Apostle Paul, and he handed me a little piece of cloth, very simple white. It looked like muslin, it was just like an off-white kind of natural color, just a little square that fit in my hand. And he said, this is an anointed piece of cloth, and you're going to be experiencing a season of the greatest harvest ever, he said, even more than I've seen. And miracles, signs, wonders, healings. He especially emphasized healings, where miraculously, someone touches a cloth like this anointed cloth and they get healed. And so those were the basic messages, and those were the items that I received. So I hope that blesses you. So we saw many of these things, all of them came to pass in 2021, just as the Lord had told me. He said that all of these are seasons that you'll be seeing happening in 2021. And then late 2021 in November, I asked again, so are these all concluded, or what's going on with this? The Lord said, no, they're continuing on in 2022. So we're continuing to see these miracles, these victories, this worship, So, and again, we'll get into the details of the prophetic updates and the prophetic fulfillment of each of these in the coming weeks. Okay? Okay, guys, that's the basic message. I hope it blesses you. God bless. Have a wonderful Palm Sunday. That was my tongue twisted. Palm Sunday. And a wonderful, happy Pesach, happy Passover, and a very special Resurrection Sunday next weekend. All right, until then, guys, talk to you later.